Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Africans. I hope you're doing fine where you are, and if you ain't doing fine, please do fine where you are. So today I want us to talk about a video that was done by PLO Lumumba. We all know PLO Lumumba is a critic of governments. He's a critic of the corruption we have in the countries in Africa. You know, he's a Kenyan by himself, but he speaks for many African nations. We've seen many African nations, or rather countries if you like, call him to have speech. He's had some speech in South Africa. He's had some speech in Nigeria. He's also had some speech in Kenya, many parts even in the United States of America. Sorry about the cold. Now, in this specific video, I want us to discuss, he, or rather PLO Lumumba, talked about something that I also find it common here in Africa. You know, the video is entitled, Africans are waiting in vain for God. You know, Africans are waiting in vain for God. There are many ways you can look at this specific title in itself. It speaks volumes. It speaks metaphorically. It speaks to Africans about our problems. It tries to enlighten us about something. And the major idea we find when PLO Lumumba speaks about this is the idea of purposefulness, you know, trying to chase purpose, you know. And we also find an idea of absurdity through this, you know. Absurdities, nothing makes sense out of everything, you know. And there's also a specific book called Waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot is a book based on the very idea that PLO Lumumba is going to speak about. You know, Africans, instead of waiting for, or rather instead of working so hard, instead of toiling hard as we're supposed to be, we are waiting in vain for God, you know. We are waiting in vain that God will make things happen. We should just sit back and let God work, you know. Even God himself worked for 6 days. On the seventh day, he rested, you know. And he told us that keep the Sabbath day holy, you know. So this is a commandment from God himself that we should work and we should find rest, you know. We should work more and find rest a little bit. And Africans are taking the whole of the week, the whole time, the whole moment. They want to rest waiting for manna from heaven, you know. So I want us to listen to PLO Lumumba give his speech. I shall get back, where we shall also have a deep critical analysis. Let's dive in.
Sometimes, as a Christian, I think to myself, when God is upstairs and is looking down upon his earth and is looking at his children, he must hold his chin and say, these children that I put in Africa, what happened? What happened? In the words of Paul, in his letter to the Galatians, you foolish African, because right now, in every African country, civilization that know what they want are looking at African resources. The Chinese are here. Right now, for many who are in the middle class, if you ask which language you want to learn as a foreign language, is Mandarin. I was telling my pastor that he should not be surprised next time there is a baptismal service when he asked the godparents of some of the children, and what name do you give this child? They'll say, Deng Xiaoping Toiva. In other words, culturally we are being reconquered again. We established the University of Namibia, we established the University of Nairobi, the University of Dar es Salaam, complete with civil engineering, but even your beautiful road here in Namibia taking us to the airport is being done by the Chinese. Our beautiful road in Nairobi, Kenya, which we call the Thika Superhighway, was done by the Chinese. The road in Uganda from Entebbe to Kampala is being done by the Chinese. The port of Tema in Ghana is being done by the Chinese. The airport in Ghana is being done by the Chinese. Oh, the Chinese. Oh, the Chinese. Where are our engineers? Where are our doctors? Right now, I would not be surprised if at the University of Namibia there is not an institute called the Confucius Institute. There are Confucius Institute at the University of Nairobi, at the University of Dar es Salaam. The Chinese know what they want. And throughout the ages, those who know what they want get what they want if they work at it. The question is, do we know what we want? How can we possibly know what we want if we don't even know in the first place? And once again, I'm saying that the leadership is at the very heart of it. You know, African countries have many ethnicities. Here in Namibia, you don't have the problem in that major sense. In my country, in Kenya, we have it, but we have succeeded in managing. In Tanzania, 120 ethnicities, but Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was very clear that if you want things to divide you, you'll always get them. Therefore, we must look for things that unite us. And I'm submitting to us that Africa will only realize their potential if we who are assembled here, particularly those of us who have gone to school. You know, it used to be said that we should think out of the box. I'm submitting to us that time has come that we must think without the box. We must throw away the box and begin thinking, because we do not know who brought this box. But we are being told to think outside of. It used to be said that we must heat the iron while it is hot. I'm saying no, we should heat the iron so that it becomes hot. In other words, I'm saying we must begin to do things differently. We must begin to do things that will liberate us. In agriculture, what are we doing in agriculture in Africa? Who makes your seed, Syngenta and Monsanto? Who supplies you with water? Coca-Cola. Who supplies you with chicken? They get chicken here in Namibia, and then they call them Kentucky Fried Chicken. Why they are not called Windhoek Fried Chicken, I've never understood. We must begin to feed our people, and Africa can feed herself. You talk about unemployment. Why can't we employ our young men and women in the agricultural sector? The South Africans are doing it in the wine areas. Why can't we do it? If the Israelis are engaged in dry land agriculture, I'm told that Sam Nujoma, when he was in the bush and even when he became the president, dreamt of a Namib and Kalahari desert that would be green. Are those dreams not valid? Is it not possible to convert the Kalahari desert into a green environment? Is it not possible to produce food that can feed Sadak? Why must we limit our thinking? Those of you who are leaders here, those in parliament, sometimes I'm beginning to debate and to ask myself, this thing that we call parliaments, with due respect to those who are parliamentarians, can we not re-examine them so that we stop wearing wigs in them, so that they begin to respond to our realities? In other words, we can forget the form and look at the substance. Is it possible to do things in a different way so that we achieve things in a manner that we understand? Because Alexander Pope once said A little modernity is a dangerous thing. Drink deep the western spring or taste not. Is it possible that these governance structures that we have do not respond to our needs? We are told that there is something called democracy. Who defines it? Who is this who has the monopoly of wisdom, whom God sent without our knowledge, to tell us that the democracy must have certain ingredients which are defined for us in Europe and America? Can't we define them in Windhoek? Can't we define them in Pretoria? Can't we define them in Maputo so that we have something with an African flavor? Can we not? In other words, time has come that we must make our universities the seats of thought. The minerals that we have, can we not add value? The borders that we have, and I said in the morning and I'll repeat it again, why? When I want to come to Namibia, must I ask, do I need a visa? Why? Why do I need a visa? Why do I need a visa to go to Liberia? Why do I need a visa to go to Ghana? Why can't I wake up in Nairobi in the morning and come to Windhoek here just to see Windhoek? Because an American in Boston, Massachusetts can wake up in the morning, fly 6 hours, and is only grappling with one currency, the dollar. Look at your Africa. Then you delude yourself that you can grow. How can you grow? When you have a population of 1.2 billion people and none of our currencies is called hard currency. Not one. Not one. I have Kenya shillings in my briefcase. Until I am back in Nairobi, it is useless. I'll carry a souvenir of $1 Namibian to beef up and enrich my money collection, but it will be useless. Can we not think of having a currency that has validity initially across the SADC, and one across East African Community, and one across Central Africa, and one across ECOWAS, and another one in the Maghreb, so that in 2050 or 2063, we have one currency called the Afro? Is it not possible? Is it beyond our imagination? Particularly the young people who are here, when we are talking about Agenda 2063, is it not possible? Is it not something that we can imagine? I'm submitting to us that it can be done. I'm submitting to us that we must begin to work at it. You know, sometimes when I think about Africa and I'm told that Namibia is 95% Christian, nominal Christians. People go to church on a Monday as a social duty, on a Sunday and Saturday, but perhaps no conviction. But I sometimes suspect that we get the Bible very wrong. When Christ is saying that today has enough problems, do not think about tomorrow, he's not telling you to stop thinking. He's simply saying, prepare for tomorrow so that for today, tomorrow. In other words, he's saying, if you prepare for today, tomorrow will take care of itself. But this idea that Kenyan religious philosopher called Mbiti says that Africans are notoriously religious. And you see it even in schools. We must all be prayerful. I'm all for prayers as a practicing Christian. But this assumption in every sector of our life, that when you are a student, you don't read at all. And then 1 week to the examination, your entire family is involved in prayer and fasting. You will never pass the examination. This idea that when we have economic problems, then we pray and fast. It will never happen. Even when you look at the Bible, the dream by Joseph is that you store during times of plenty. It is in the Bible before the birth of Christ. So even if you give the African problem a spiritual dimension, we still don't get it right. And I'll continue on that trajectory to take you to the book of Matthew, about this man who goes away and gives one person 5 talents, and another one 2 talents, and another one 1 talent, and he goes back and comes back and he finds the one with 5 talents saying, oh, I've made 5 more, good worker. And another one, 2 talents, good worker. And to the one that was given talent, I say, I know you. You are in the business of gathering where you did not spread. And he tells him, why did you not take it to the bank? If you allow me, sometimes I suspect that the one with 1 talent was us, the Africans. Because uranium is under our earth. Natural gas is under our earth. Gold is under our earth. And the Bible is still right. And to those who do not have, even the little that they have will be taken and it will be given to those who have. Now you see, your uranium is being given to the Chinese. It's being given to the Malaysians. Your gas is being given to Shell BP. Your oil is being given to Total. Your timber is being given to the Malaysians. And here you are left wondering, waiting for God to come majestically and dramatically to part your Red Sea. You must part.
Now, after carefully listening to PLO Lumumba's speech, it is recurrent that Africans, we have everything. Forgive me for the cough. Africans, we have everything, but we sell ourselves as people who are pitiful, people who are in need, people who can't do anything by themselves, We have roads in Africa, we have educations, we have hospitals, we have churches. All these have been built by either a white person or a non-African. Let me just put it, a non-African. It's not like we don't have Africans who can do these jobs for us. We have. But we choose not to go for them because we don't really trust our own selves and our own abilities. We look at the Chinese, we look at the Europeans, the Britons, the Bulgarians, the Americans. We look at them and we think these people have the solution. But they really don't have the solution. These people are just people who are taking opportunity of our disunity, And the other way of looking at it is we really don't think that we are capable. We think that maybe God will come and save us. Yes, I'm one person who truly believes that God helps man, But the same God says, you should not test him. You should not test him. You should make an effort to yourself, I'm not saying that God helps those people who help themselves. No, I don't subscribe to that literature. I really don't. But what I'm telling you right now is we can't be lazy and let God work for us. No. We have to work also. We have to show we are making efforts. You understand? As Africans, we've so much been brainwashed to believe that we pray, we get everything. Yes, prayer delivers, but we also need to be putting work. We need to entrust ourselves. We need to entrust our daughters. We need to entrust our sons. We need to entrust our students that they can do a task for us. We need to entrust them. The road in Thika Road, the road in Entebbe, the road in Ghana, the airport in Ghana, Kotoka International Airport was built by the Chinese. The road in Super Nairobi Expressway, Nairobi Thika Highway, which is just a few meters from where I live, was built by the very, very Chinese that PLO Lumumba is speaking about. You understand? Now I'm looking back, I'm thinking, Africans, we've sold ourselves short to the rest of the world. And it is a choice that we ourselves have made, and it's our own choice to uplift ourselves from this very situation that is holding us back. We have the power to remove ourselves from the positions that we've placed ourselves just by entrusting ourselves and investing more on ourselves. Instead of paying those people, let's pay our own here. You understand? I believe that PLO Lumumba has made it vivid, has made it a good example for us to learn on how to invest on our own selves. And I hope you learn in this video as well. If you do, subscribe to the channel. I will so much appreciate, and see you in the next one. Thank you so much.